What rank is this?
Gold 3.
Gold. Okay. So here, why are we not charging up our Tesla gun and shooting it at people? Just to get some poke out. Because the whole reason they, like, implemented him having a secondary fire is so that he doesn't have to rely on people getting low before he engages. You can kind of just, like, sit here, and yeah, there's a Pharah there. She doesn't have a pharmacy happening, so you can weaken the Pharah down, make her have to fly lower to get heals. You can even poke out the BAP. Maybe he has to use regen burst before you dive in on him. I like your positioning on this high ground. This is good. You know, you're able to actually shoot over the shield. You're not really threatened by the Mei or the Reinhardt, so this is good. Great positioning. It's just you're not using your right clicks right now. And you have downtime. You've had like 5 seconds or so. That's at least 2 right clicks that you can get out. And even like shooting the right click before we jump in there, right? Because this guy would be, you know, closer to like 50 health instead of the 100 he has. Nice, you got his abilities out. Get out. Cool. Same deal. Just charge your right clicks up while you're trying to, like, get back into the fight because you had that downtime to charge, so you might as well. Nice. Yeah, and then focus them. Cool. Now the supports are down. Sweet. Don't waste your ammo like that. Obviously, if she's an ice block, it's just better to save onto your ammo. You're just not using your right click, like, ever. And it's something that I'm seeing, like, you really need to consider. Because even if it's just, like, tagging people just to figure out how much health they have, that's going to let you know if you should jump in on the target or if the target is still full health, so you're not going to get anything out of it. Because you're like, you don't even have a target in mind when you're doing this. You're just kind of, like, jumping in and, like, yeah, you're like, I want to get the supports, but you know, you don't know the health of either support, so you don't know, like, which one to prioritize. Should just use Suzu, so maybe we get her. Nice. That was good. Same deal. You could get some right clicks in on those guys, since they have less healing. Okay.
I don't really know what I'm doing.
Oh, I got the... Bad jump. Unlucky. They went Reaper for you, so... Yeah, well, you can clearly see they swapped to Orisa, Reaper, they swapped to Junkrat too, so, you know, breaking your shield, bursting you down, and then she basically just lets you have no fun, so... Unlucky. Well, right now you don't have a target in mind to dive, I think. You had, like, very poor scouting here. So you come out here, and you don't even know where anyone is, you're just jumping into here. So you're kind of just like choosing a place to attack when you have no idea on where anyone is. Maybe if I was sitting here with my team and I was like, all right, well, Orisa's on point. You might see Junkrat grenades coming up here. No Junkrats up here. It's not bad to take the high ground, but you have like no idea on like where anyone is in this fight. Because then you find the Reaper, he race back, but you still don't know where anyone is. So now you're wasting like 5 to 10 seconds going this way. And then you finally see an Orisa and dive on the Orisa. And the Reaper. Now you lost your Tracer. It looks like it's going to be a stagger thing. Because now you don't have a Tracer, so...
Yeah, then I kind of like... Oh yeah, I saw this, but I don't know.
You might need to get better with your Winston juggles. Yeah, even there, if you charged up a right click, she'd be low, if not like dead. You know, But you're not charging up the right clicks, so even some of these people that are getting just out of reach, you're not able to finish them off because you're not right clicking. So if no one is in melee range of you, I just want you to be like shooting right clicks. Especially because the team you're fighting is very much brawl. You know, like if you jump on them, like most of these heroes are going to win. So instead, what you guys need to be doing is poking and whittling them down, with making them burn resources, and your right click's a great way of doing that. Yeah, because if you're diving on them when they all have full abilities, like, they're just gonna trade and you're gonna die. Nice. Yeah, it'd probably actually help your Genji there. Yeah, you could have jumped on the sim to confirm the kill there. You guys had a healer, had their healer down too. So once you get the BAP, you get the sim. Now they have these three to work with. So you guys probably win the fight there. And you have the window to exit out of. And if you exited out of that window, well, now your team can push up and help. Yeah, same here. You're just kind of sitting here. I want you to be right-clicking the enemy team just to get some damage out, make them burn some abilities, make the dive a little bit easier. Maybe even like Sombra's virus does 100 damage, so just makes her confirming a hack target a lot easier too if you hit with the right clicks. Nice. Diving in without your bubble. Almost got primal, but you just didn't have bubble in time, so instead I probably would have waited just a little bit longer until you had bubble. Do you notice also that you're just kind of like dropping your bubble down? Like you're at 492 health, and the only thing looking at you is a BAP and I think maybe the Orisa. So you're not going to die here not using your bubble. The reason why you shouldn't use your bubble is because you can sit here and burn the BAP. If the BAP runs away, now you can chase him with either another jump or just walking. Then once you get low, now you have a bubble that you can drop down to protect yourself. Or even if he's getting low, now you can drop the bubble and now you can cut off the Moira heals to him. But sometimes you're dropping the bubble and it's just like, I guess he got hacked just now, but he has both of his abilities. So your bubble, even though it cuts off the healing, he's just gonna regen burst. And it's not gonna matter. Like maybe if he didn't have regen burst, then we drop the bubble. Now it's more, you know, scary for him. Now he can actually die because he's not getting heals and he's sitting in a bubble and he doesn't have any abilities to heal himself. And because you used your bubble, again, you were at 490 health, you had to get out because Winston without a bubble is vulnerable. But you didn't have to use the bubble in the first place, so you could have stood in there longer if you just recognized that you didn't need the bubble there. Yeah. I would have chased her. Looks like Genji got her, though. You don't need to push the cart here, either. Leave your supports to do that. Obviously, you guys just killed the whole team. I would want you to be pushing up here, pressuring out the enemy a little bit, like on these choke points. You lose your Genji because he went in alone. Moira no fade. Probably chase the Moira if she fades. The bubble's not really doing anything here with the full health Winston with primal. Like if you were about to primal, sure, you can drop the bubble, but you're not. Same deal. You drop the bubble here. It'd be a lot better if you drop the bubble over here. Just to cut the heals off for the supports, but you put it here. No one's in your bubble, so now you're using it to protect yourself, but you're, again, full health. It would have been better if you just cut off so Moira had trouble healing BAP and vice versa. Or just applied a lot more pressure. So bubble usage is big so far, and right clicks are big. Those are going to be the two big things you need to work on. We've also been holding on to this primal for quite a bit.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, the primal's really for you to go in deep dives and then maybe confirm those deep dives. Or create a distraction and make a lot of space for your team. How much health did you have? 300? Yeah, you had 350 health when you used that. Let yourself get closer to like 100 or so, for the extra health, for the extra time. You use that 9 minutes, and you've had it for a whole 2 minutes, roughly. So you could have gotten built 2 primals in that time. So you essentially wasted like a primal that you could have used, because you just held onto your primal for that long. I guess used it for other fights, maybe actually swung those fights in your favor by using your ultimate. But because you didn't, you know, you lost those fights, and then you're also losing this primal fight just because it's a unlucky primal with that jump going into it. Immortality field doesn't really matter. You just boot people out of it anyway, so there's really no point in focusing it. It's not like a Genji Blade where they can stand in there as long as possible, so you need to kind of slice it. This is just everyone hitting the ult button.
Yeah, we kind of like try to stay alive really. That's the part.
You don't really have a target in mind, really, either.
Yeah, I should go for the map.
Alright, Moira has no fade. Dive tanks, their entire thing is forcing out abilities to make people weak, and then they can really burst them down. So when you're forcing out these abilities with your right clicks, like causing Moira to fade and stuff, now that Moira fades, now you have 6 seconds of killing her, which is, you know, pretty easy with a monkey that lands on you and does 50 damage, punch does 30, so that's 80 damage, and then 60 a second with a Tesla. Not to mention the right click, which does another 50 on top of that, so you can be doing 130 damage when you land on them, and then 60 damage a second for your Tesla, and then they'll have like 10 health left after 1 second, and then, you know, hopefully someone follows up or you get it. And this is assuming that, you know, they're dueling you in your bubble, so they're not getting any extra heals. But yeah, I guess the big things that you should work on are your right clicks. You need to at least be doing those, even if it feels like you're not doing a lot. It's gonna help you figure out when you should dive, if you should dive, who you should dive. Force out cooldowns as well. And then your bubble placement is going to be the other big one. Just making sure that you're actually putting it in a spot that you want to stay as Winston. Because sometimes you kind of drop it and then you're sitting there, the bubble doesn't really break, you're not really low, but then you have to get out anyways because you're just not going to be able to stay there for long. Those are the 2 main big things I would say to work on.